Plato's Cave. So let me start with Plato's story first. It opens with some shackled to a cave. For better lives, they did not know to thirst. For something else, they simply didn't crave. The silhouettes of puppets on the wall were what they knew of life, their normalcy. The puppeteers provided fun for all, except for one who finally got free. Right after being blinded by the light, his eyes adjusted, he beheld the world. It's what his life was missing, all was right. Now suddenly the mystery unfurled. He runs back to the cave, excited now, and tells the people chained what he just saw. With fear and disbelief, they birthed a row and killed him swiftly, brutal, feral, raw. The man's in charge of what we all perceive, and something else beyond, I do believe. And that's the first poem. What the fifth dimension actually is. Oh, if the first dimension is a line, the second is a plane, I do define. The third has volume like a cube, it's space. The fourth is time, those hands upon a face. Which makes a line again. It's simple math, to which small-minded people scoff and laugh. Which means the fifth dimension is a plane, comprised of lines of time. It sounds insane. But what this mean, I mean the plane of time. Infinity concerning reason rhyme. It also has chaotic dissonance. The multiverse, it's all in one at once. Thus everything you'd ever think and more exists within this place of plenty lore. How to access the fifth dimension. We access this dimension constantly. When dreaming dead, delusional, on drugs, or daydreaming, I hope that you can see that everyone can do it, even bugs. When dreaming and when dead, we leave our shell. Conceptually the same with tripping too. We could end up in heaven or in hell, or somewhere else entirely that's new. When I'm delusional, reality begins to blur like an unfocused lens. The fifth dimension overlaps on me, and that's how magic's real, the touching ends. When daydreaming, imagination freeze, tap into alternate realities. And thank you so much. Last poem. Weed is alien technology. So are mushrooms. Chained to a sham every day. A shadow on a cave wall, time's prisoner. What ho, a respite. In drugs, addicted to what it's like to escape. THC was engineered to connect us to the hive mind. Mushrooms were engineered to show us what lies beyond. And we're supposed to work until we die without taking control of our own neurotransmitters. No, only professionals can prescribe drugs that are not fun and make you fat, and my addiction to a plant is a moral failing of my own and not a product of my chains. Thank you. Okay. Well, I could do more? Yeah. Deep cuts. Punk. Alliances exist throughout the stars. There's one that started close. It comes from Mars. It's called the Planetary Union for no capital with a K. So no one can be poor. Destroy the system, money ushers greed. Like zombies on our labor, they all feed. A riot's what we need to kick things off. But all the older people do is scoff. There's no such thing as meritocracy in this sham of a democracy. We know that we deserve these things no cost. Without too many lives will have been lost. Say, give us housing, health insurance too. The rent is too damn high. You know it's true. I'm gonna do a little bit. We're going. So I invented this religion that the fifth dimension can overlap on reality after having sex with ghosts and conceiving a child. I lit pentagrams in my room on the winter solstice of 2017 and fucked the astral projection of Pete Wentz from Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy released a new single yesterday. I've been wincing a little bit. That's my mother's term for it. I've been wincing a little bit. And that's the first time anyone's ever really laughed at my Pete Wentz jokes. Normally they're a monologue on a stand-up stage, so I thought it was okay to do them. But so when you fuck a ghost and come, it's hard to go back to being like, well, reality is real, you know? No, there's stuff beyond it. It overlaps. When you're crazy and smoke way too much weed, sativa will do it to you. Anyway, so my religion is Spurch. You can call 419-7-SPURCH if you have any questions, comments, and concerns. That's a real number. And I'm trying to get a class in the works at the LTC for Spurch, an introduction to Spurch. I have everything laid out, and I would like to talk about it at some point. Thank you so much, Wednesday. Thank you, everyone here. Thank you to the interns. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Zwambi, everybody! Zwambi! Hell yeah, dude. I wanna fuck a ghost and come. Damn. That sounds nice. But yeah, very excited to be continuing our featured monologues for tonight. I am gonna be your next monologue here, going to perform a little bit of a monologue from a play called A Behanding in Spokane by Martin McDonough. I'm gonna set myself up here real quick. And while I'm setting up, if any people that have just gotten here recently want to add themselves onto the list, just let me know, and we can do that for you. Cool. And that if you don't want to do that, that's okay. I'm just gonna be a little sad about it. Yeah, this should be interesting. I wish I had a monkey sometimes. Don't you? I do. And not so much of a chimp as more of a gibbon. Or what kind of monkey? What would you do? Feed it bananas and stuff? Yup. Buy him a bunch of bananas, maybe? Do they really eat a lot of bananas, or is that what people say about them, about the banana thing, and they don't care either way about bananas? You wouldn't know with the media nowadays. Because I don't go to a lot of zoos, I gotta admit. I used to in my teens when I didn't have nothing else to do, but then I began to find them kind of depressing, you know? So then I started going to zoos drunk, but that wasn't right either. So then I'd go to zoos drunk and think about doing a bunch of rescuing, but I never rescued shit, man. That was just the booze talking. All I would sometimes do, for instance, if it was a gibbon, I would put my finger through the bars and have him or her pull my finger. I wouldn't even be scared about my finger. It was like the gibbon knew and cared that I was drunk and wondered why. But then I thought to the gibbon, my God, look what they have done to you. They have put you in a cage you don't want to be in and make you pull my finger? When what you should be is at home in a rainforest, not pulling anything you didn't choose to pull? More likely a banana off a tree? Or the tail of another gibbon? And then I thought to myself, my God, is every single monkey in every single zoo around the world going to sleep tonight thinking, man, I don't want to be in this cage, pulling on some drunk guy's finger, not knowing what the hell's going on. I want to be home in Africa or wherever they have rainforests, swinging from tree to tree, having a banana or what have you. And then I thought, oh no. Every night when they're asleep and they're probably every night when they're asleep, they're probably dreaming, I am there. I am in the rainforest. I am having a banana. And then bam! They wake up in fucking Arizona. Yeah. Here comes that drunk guy. Around then is when I stopped going to zoos so much as I started taking a lot of speed. All right, that's that for me, folks. Thank you very much. I'm going to be right back as I confer the list as to who is next. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, Ren. Wow, look at that. Hosts looking out for other hosts. Shout out to Ren Marquez, everybody, host of The Safe, the bomb shelter at The Safe on Tuesday nights. Come down to see some stand-up there. But yeah, so our next monologue, we are going to have Tanjeen Niriyagana perform us a monologue from the play Elephant. Tanjeen, whenever you are ready.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm Tanjeen, and as Casey said, I'm going to be doing a monologue from the play Elephant. It's written by Anushka Lucas, who is a British playwright. I'm going to do it in my own voice, so some of the language may sound a little peculiar, but we'll see how it goes. Some context. I'm going to be reading for the character Lila, who is very mixed ethnically. It's always been difficult for me to find material that speaks to that. So I was really glad when I found this because it really touches on some things that I have never heard anyone touch on. So she's a jazz musician, I'll add that, and she's visiting her boyfriend Leo's parents' house. And Leo is quite European. All right. Can everyone hear me okay? Is the volume good? Okay. All right. And the title of this section is After Dinner. At Leo's parents' house, after dinner, we retire to the drawing room. In the drawing room, there is a huge fireplace, and across the ceiling there are two beautiful wooden beams. Leo's mum tells me, oh, those beams are ship beams, centuries old. They're repurposed. Isn't that clever? I just love knowing the house is secure, because they've lasted for years and years, crossing oceans and seas, carrying all sorts of cargo across the world. And now here they are, in my ceiling. Isn't that something? At the far end of the drawing room is a deep mahogany baby grand piano. Leo pulls out some old sheet music, starts playing some Chopin, Impromptu 89. I've never heard him play classical stuff before. The fire glows. I'm a bit drunk. When he's finished, I say, that's a beautiful piano. Sounds so warm. And his father is delighted and says, isn't it? Inherited it from my aunt. It's German, 1930s. I say, isn't it amazing to think where that piano came from? And he says, quite. been in my family for years. I say, "Is it ivory?" And his dad says, I say, "The keys, are they ivory?" He says, "Well, yes, I expect so." And I say, "Do you know elephants have moon rituals?" And he says, "Is that so?" Leo's mother interrupts, "Lila, now why don't you play us something? We'd love to hear you sing. You must perform." I say, "They think they do anyway. They wrap their trunks around branches from trees and they wave them at the waxing moon. Actually, also there's anecdotal evidence that they bathe every full moon." Leo's mom says, "Who does?" I say, "Elephants." I say, "They have funerals as well. They lay their trunks on the bodies of their dead, pick up their bones gently and in silence and stand together." Leo's dad laughs and says, "All right, young lady, enough filibustering. Time for a song, please." I say, "Yeah, and when an elephant dies, when the corpse is there on the ground, and there's blood everywhere, and their tusk has been ripped out of the softest, sweetest cavity in their own face. I mean, can you imagine that? Someone just ripping something out of your face? Anyway, after, if the herd finds them, then they stay with them for days, just standing, all these elephants together. They cover it with leaves and grass and soft things from the land, like a ritual. Isn't that amazing?" They're all staring at me. I say, "Don't you think that's amazing?" I say, I think about all that all the time. Every time I play the piano, I'm playing something ripped out of an animal's face and transported by enslaved hands across an ocean and whittled down and carved, and now it's under my hand. And we all just... I look at Leo's family. Sorry. You. You all just go on pretending none of that ever happened, that this piano just miraculously appeared here in your family. Out of nowhere, the result of European manufacturing genius. But, where did these materials come from? You know? Where does all this stuff you have now come from before? You know? Leo is looking at me across the room with a sort of, "What the fuck are you doing" face. I know, I say. I'm sorry. I know I'm not meant to talk about it. It's rude. I'm being rude. I look at him. But what is being rude? Who decided the rules about what is rude and what is polite? What are those rules for? Because I know I'm supposed to sit here and be incredibly charming about this gravy and say thank you to your mom while she tells me she's got repurposed slave ship wood holding up her literal house. And your dad tells me he really misses his colonial land. But come on, guys. There's so much British Empire in your living room. In you. It's here with us now. And I feel like when I'm sat here, being called a quadroon and asked where I'm from and told I'm so lucky to be so exotic, and that my musical talent is a form of mystical magic, not skill or work. I mean, God forbid a woman of color could write music from any place other than strange, instinctual magic. What you're actually doing is you're asking me not to react to racism, to confirm that it doesn't exist, and to show also that I am just like you. And how could a person like you have any connection to that horrible history? You didn't do any of that stuff. It's all over. And how could you be connected to it? Because good things can't possibly be connected to bad things. That's too confusing. That would be like a person being black and white, posh and poor, or English and European. No. No, and the worst part is, I just keep going along with all of this because I want you to like me. Because I am in love with your son. And being just like you is lovely. The dinners are so tasty and the conversation so pleasing. So I've learned to never really stop and think about why my mom thinks long wavy hair is better than her own natural afro. Or why I've spent my entire life wishing I didn't have this frizz halo around my head. Or how my dad said people threw bricks through his window when he was a kid. Or how my mom doesn't know where she's from. Or how I wished my nose was more narrow when I was a kid. And I used to hold it pinched when I was falling asleep. Even though I had no understanding of why I wished that, it's just on some level I thought I was ugly. Until one day I found out I could be exotic, honey, caramel quadroon, earth woman, all the time. And then I learned I can be a very particular kind of beautiful. Wild and earthy. And I learned to say yes. I do have an unnatural talent for jazz, even though I'm not sure it's jazz that I make. Because I learned that everywhere, all of the time, people only ever want to see a beautiful row of 88 ivory keys that make up a piano. And no one wants to see 88 ivory keys and also a dead fucking elephant. 24 million dead elephants killed over 5 centuries of transatlantic trade, and a mahogany tree shipped over an ocean and after being cut down by African hands. Nobody wants to think about that. It's frightening and sad and nothing to do with us. But it's hard not to think about it when it's who you are. So I've been expending a lot of energy really hiding all the hard parts for so long, and I'm tired. I'm really fucking tired of jumping between all these versions of me that suit the room I am in and of never complaining about never being whole. So I'm just going to tell you now, when I look at the world, at our furniture and our instruments and the makeup of our rooms, what I see is that everything is fucking connected to everything. My history and your history are the same history, and I am still battling against it, and I'm doing all this work hiding the parts of myself that do not fit right, and I'm only just realizing that is expected of me, because it's in the interest. It has always been in the interest of those in power to make sure that people like me never connect the parts to each other, to only show a part and never be whole. Because if I connect the parts, everyone else will have to too. Thank you.
All right, let's have another round of applause for Tangine, everybody. Yeah, that was fantastic. We're going to keep it going here with our featured monologues. All right. Our next person up on the docket is Alexandra Halabi. Is that right? Got to start. Woo! Yeah.
Hello. My name is Alexandra Halvey. This poem is from a collection of poems called My Life is Furniture. And it's a lot of poems about furniture that I really love, and the poems are in shape of that furniture. But this one is not a piece of furniture. It's the walkway to my grandfather's house. And for some context, he had gotten sick and he really wanted to pass away in the house that he built, but he didn't get to. So this is kind of like a walking him back. It's called The Walkway to Your Door. Bedridden and without glasses, you ask, how long does it take to get to Beirut? Khidni. It's been a month since you've gotten sick. The nurse who takes your blood is my age. There's 2 male attendants who follow behind her like ducks. They're as strong as the stones of your belbek. One of them is holding his shoulder and hissing at you wide-eyed. She came in and kissed your forehead, and she held your hand. She asks politely for your arm, and she waits for you. She starts a story about her newborn and her new dog. April arrives with soft green buds, and the sun is as strong as the man in the bed next to you. He is also Lebanese. His son calls me over. I cross the curtain slowly. His name is Jiddu. He only remembers swears, points at me, says bint, yells at me with a set of full teeth. His memory is lousy. He calls me girl, and he has kiwi peach fuzz all over his cheeks. When I return to you, I bring my cheek to your hand, and it's ice cold. And I notice that your watch is off. Jiddu Habibi, give it to me, let me fix it. And you huff. Your voice is wet without your teeth. How do you know that? Well, what's wrong with it? Why don't you just fix it then? You hold my hand, it's ceramic heavy, and you call me by your little sister's name. You plead with me, Bus, how long will it take us to get back? I tell you I haven't been. In your Arabic roars, it cements me in the sun brimming these clouds. نسمة الهوى من مفرق الوادي Hayuta bus. I turn around to show you the tulips that I brought. You scowl. Your cheeks are red. The red rises in your cheeks. And April is yearning for you, Jiddu. Let's go back. Let's get you better and in the garden. Sweeten your hands with tomato juice. Stain your hands with the rhubarb. We could dig up the yard and see how far the mint has crawled. This is the plan. I'll buy tickets. I'll ask Mama for some petty cash, and this sun is ours. You turn away. The food on your tongue looks like clumps of sand. At your window, April arrives like a kid running after the bus. Love is as long as war, and your life is as long as mine and mine. I bounce your hand like a tabla. I rock your shoulders, I bob my head, and we hum together. Your eyes are pinned, pupils crystal blue, blue as the sky, blue as the sea. Tell me how to position the tulips. Your eyes are as sharp as the water all around me. Hayuta, Hayuta, Ya Elbi. Tell me again how you started your life here, big brother. Thank you.
Alrighty, Alexander Halabi, everybody. Let's have another round of applause. Next on the docket for our featured monologues, we have none other than Fiona Brennan, everybody. Fiona! Let's hear it.
Hello. Actually, is it okay if I bring this chair up on stage?
Yeah, of course. We have like a tall chair too.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Get set up. Can the camera see me okay? Yeah. Can you all see me okay? Hi, my name is Fiona Brennan. I attended a monologue workshop back in December that Wednesday ran, and I wrote this. So this is a very simple order by me. Hi. Do you sell sandwiches here? Oh, good. I'm just so hungry, and I was in the area, and you're the only restaurant open, and I could just really use a sandwich, you know. The thing is, I'm vegetarian, but I'm thinking of going vegan because I hate how they treat those poor dairy cows, you know. It's just awful. Oh wow. Look at the menu. There's just so many options. So I think I'll go with the Monte Cristo looks good. So I think I'll get that, but without any of the meat or the cheese in it, of course. And I just recently found out that I'm actually gluten-free, so instead of the bun, could you just do like 2 pieces of baby spinach on each side? Oh, that'd be great. I went to this the new seafood place with my girlfriends last weekend, and we had the most wonderful shark fin tartare. It was so fantastic. So I was wondering if maybe you could throw in like a filleted shark fin in there. Yeah, hammerhead if you have it would be great. And no. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that shark is vegan because they don't have brains, do they? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw that on National Geographic. Well, could you also put in those vegetables from the movie Ratatouille in there too? Yeah, I think that's eggplant and zucchini and like maybe a couple of others. Yeah, that'd be. Oh. Yeah. Also, I have a very sensitive tongue, so if it's too hot, could you just like soak the whole thing in a basin of Diet Coke before you serve it to me? Yeah, Pepsi's fine, I guess. Well, anyway. It was really nice talking to you. Thank you so much. You've just been lovely. And I'll definitely be coming back to Wendy's in the future because I just love supporting small businesses. Okay, I guess I should drive up now. Thank you. Cool. Thanks, guys.
Fiona Brennan, everybody. Yeah. Serving us Jennifer Coolidge realness. Alrighty. Next on the docket in our featured monologues, it is none other than Sebastian Hoffman, everybody. Let's hear it for Sebastian.
Thank you, Casey. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Thank the Academy. Okay. All right. Get this guy out of here. Alrighty. So I, like many others, also attended the monologue workshop run by Wednesday. Thank you, Wednesday. And in the process I wrote a monologue, which is a very insane diatribe. It doesn't really mean anything. I just kind of wrote what was in my head and just kept going from there. And yeah, brains do that sometimes, where you just get transfixed on something and then you just go insane with it. So that's basically what this is going to be. It's called Your Shoes Untied. Your shoes untied. It's not so much untied as it's like one of the loops became like a double knot, you know? Fucking sucks when that happens. Like, is it just me? Yeah, no. It's probably just me. Never learned to tie them properly. Childish? Sure. But when those bastards get tight, like so tight, like can't even untie them with your hands tight, then you gotta like do it with your teeth, cause those dino sausages you call fingers aren't like, you know, like fingery enough. You know what I mean? And then your laces are all wet with spit all over. That's fucking gross. That's why I wear Velcro. I mean, do we even need to make shoes with laces anymore? Like, sure, tying them only takes like 2 minutes tops for me. Whatever, look, slip-ons, Velcro, sandals. Why wear anything else? It saves you so much time for other important shit. It's like those little extra moments you really need, you know? Oh, you know what? Something else with the shoelaces, isn't it? Okay, all right, okay. I get what this is about. Aesthetics. Fashion. Fine, you want to get technical? Let's get technical. I suppose shoes with laces could look pretty sexy for the most part. But who cares? It's not always about that. Ever heard of a little something called practicality? Sweatpants and flip-flops are practical. But no, everything's got to be just flawless on you, doesn't it? I can see it on your face. You want me to find you objectively attractive. You're trying to put the image of me kissing you in my head on purpose, aren't you? You think you got better style than I do? Debatable. You're an annoying, stupid, sexy fucking... You know what? Will you just tie your damn shoe already?
Sebastian Hoffman, everybody. Let's hear it. That was fun. I hate tying my shoes. We should all just get Velcro straps. All right. Let's see. Oh, very exciting, folks. We are now getting into uncharted territory, right? That means everybody from this point on here at the open mic has decided through their own free will that they want to provide for you all tonight. So let's give all these people up here a round of applause for all you. Yeah. Let's another round of applause for all of our featured monologists. You're all so good. Thank you for being here. First up on the list is our own Martian Radio Theater's Endgame family. Dominic Guillen is going to give us a little song, everybody. Isn't that right, Dominic? Sure. Oh, boy. Come on up here.
Sorry for going off topic with the monologues, but I was put on the spot. But I wrote this song when I got COVID, like in June last year. It was inspired by my friend Willie, who kind of discovered, like, remember when there was like this weird like cultural moment where everyone was really into sea shanties for like a hot second? Yeah, so very cool, like medium and everything, love it. But it was just like a cultural moment, and he just found it like way later, and then just kept it going, and it's been in the rotations, for months now. So I was inspired, and I was trying to be creative while I was trapped in my room, and so as we all do as tortured artists. So I wrote a sea shanty, and you'll notice that I don't have any instruments because I need your help. Fellow audience members, I need you to learn a quick 2 stanzas, really quick thing. Can you say, ho hi, ho hey? Ho hi, ho hey. It's almost sundown. It's almost sundown. Ho hi, ho hey. Ho hi, ho hey. It's nice to lay down. It's nice to lay down. And the song is called Lay Down. And for those of you who are more the silent, percussive type, if you'd like to do a foot stomp or a clap or whatever it is that's in your heart, the more, drunken and slurred the words are, the more it's like a sea shanty. So really, really have fun with it. It seems time has ended. We're closing down shop. Cease all your labor. Keep going, you'll drop. Ho, hi, ho, hey, keep going, you'll drown. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's nice to lay down. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's almost sundown. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's nice to lay down. The hardships of living just pile up high. Tackle them all alone, then you'll just be left dry. Ho, hi, ho, hey, don't leave unattended. Ho, hi, ho, hey, you'll soon be ascended. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's almost sundown. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's nice to lay down. Like a twin-headed calf admiring the stars, too busy to notice he's being left far behind. Those who meet expectations, forgetting the kinships, who give up their hearts without expectations. Ho, hi, ho, hey, keep going, don't frown. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's nice to lay down. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's almost sundown. Ho, hi, ho, hey, it's nice to lay down. Thank you.
Oh, hi. Oh, hey there, Dom. That was fantastic. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. Alrighty. Next on the docket is none other than Ray Sam Donko Hom with his seminal piece, Gatekeeping Chinese Food. Let's hear it.
This crowd is a lot bigger from the stage. Okay, so I will say that this is not an original piece. It is a Instagram message exchange. So just a little bit of a preamble, and this is what I assume has happened. So someone posted a picture of like their Chinese food, as one does when it's just like, yeah, here it is. And then someone like replied, it's just like, oh, where is that? And instead of just saying like, no, instead of just saying like, oh, what it is, it just takes like a very elitist term over something that is just like so small, like, but also so dear at the same time too. So I'm gonna eat one of these cookies because it's partially like ASMR kind of Gallagher up here. So because I just imagine that like they're still eating while replying to this, So yeah, let's do it. I find MFs like you really interesting, bro. I ain't gonna lie, this spot is kind of like a personal thing. You get what I'm saying? It's kind of like a personal vibe, you feel me? See, the thing is, like, what's really crazy to me is that you wouldn't even want this if you didn't see me post it. You see what I'm saying? I don't even think you're really hungry like that, bro. Like, to be honest, bro, go ahead, find yourself something to eat, bro. Go open up your fridge, bro. This is not the fridge, all right? This is the internet. You get what I'm saying? Like, this shit tastes insane, though. Like, shit wild. Seafood pasta, you know what I'm saying? Like, this shit is market price, you feel me? Like, I wish I could put you on, but it's really like a personal vibe, Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, dog, I bring my family here. Okay? Like, this is where my people stay. I bring my loved ones here. So, you be easy, bro. That's it.
All right. Well, since I'm up here, I'll go ahead and do my piece. So I got one more in me. It's right around 8 o'clock. Can everyone give a round of applause to our interns? It's their first day today. All right, you're free to go home. Go, leave, vanish. Have fun. I'll email you guys about tomorrow. Maybe we'll have a snow day. Who knows? Awesome. Okay, so this one isn't one that I have prepared, but it's called The Witch's Hat. It's a thing that happened to me. It's a story from before the pandemic. I was in Salem, Massachusetts around Halloween, and everyone was wearing masks, except, you know, at this time it was more like Halloween masks, right? A lot of Deadpools and whatnot. And I was there with my friends. We were, I don't know, just laughing like hyenas. We were sort of jumping on this like ghost tour, and the tour like is one of those ones that have the candles. So they have like the candles that have like the paper thing, and they're all huddled around someone with varying degrees of attention to a tour guide who's telling them the history of ghosts in the area. And I was sort of tuning in, tuning out, chatting with my friends, just laughing. My favorite thing about my friends is we laugh like hyenas. And at some point, I was just sort of taking a moment to myself. Sometimes when we laugh, like my face is just numb from conversation. And then they were laughing, and you know, the people were like paying attention to the tour. And then there was this one woman with a witch's hat. It was a long pointed frilly thing, as you might see in Spirit Halloween or something like that. And I was like, that's a lovely hat. And she was sort of kind of standing there texting on her phone with great intensity. I assumed that she must be writing the next great American novel. It was with such focus and very internal. And there was the crew that was with the tour, and then my friends and the candles. And one of the things I noticed was this candle's flame, because it didn't have a plastic sheath. And what I noticed about it that was so interesting was how it leapt from the candle onto the frills of her witch's hat and started to catch a blaze. I noticed this, and I was looking at it. I was like, that is so odd. And so the flames were at first little, just sort of dancing up the hat. And I looked to my friends, and then they were just laughing to each other. And I looked at the tour, and they were just listening to the tour guide. And I looked at the flame, and it was slowly growing larger. I thought, that is just so odd. And so as it was growing to several inches in diameter and half a foot in length, perhaps, I said, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, you're on fire. Now, she didn't react to this. She was still engrossed in the writing. The writing process is an intense one, so I understand. So I looked at my friends, and they were still laughing. And then I looked at the tour, and they were still listening. I was like, I must convey my meaning. So I said, excuse me, you are on fire. And she was like, and so I was like, what am I missing? What am I missing? Why am I not communicating correctly? And I looked to my friends. I was like, do you guys know she's on fire? And they look over, and then they look back to themselves. It's like, probably not. Maybe it's just in my head. And I was like, excuse me, sir, do you notice that she's on fire? And she's like, oh my God! And grabbed her hat and stomped it out. And during the entirety of that action, I was just writing notes. Like, okay. Urgency in voice. Take initiative. Put out fire. I learned a lot about myself that day and how to communicate. Thank you so much. That's the witch's hat.
Wow, that's just about the funnest story about a witch being lit on fire that I've ever heard. Those are usually really sad, right? Yeah, too soon. Alrighty. Next on our lineup here, we have none other than Matthew Schwartzman.
Yeah, right. Quit pretending you know who I am. I showed up to Wednesday's monologue workshop as well, but my monologue a little bit turned into a Tumblr poem, so I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry in advance, Wednesday, for sullying your monologue workshop name. I also thank you. I also wanted to edit it more, but I got sick this week and it wasn't contagious, but it's just a whole mess, so forgive me. Here we go. That's not part of it. I'm gonna take this. I'm tired. I say that a lot. This page is too long, like this chapter drones on. Tumblr poem vibes here. This ink won't stop running, though the thoughts keep coming, and the thoughts keep coming, and they don't stop coming. The lines are guides, but not for our lives, because they have no happy medium, no good and bad, no middle ground. It's either strict order or chaos abounds. Either flying too high or stuck on the ground, either ultra-dense city or small country town, tragic operatic or sad crying clown. Lost my place. I didn't double space this. Oh, I rhymed again. Damn. That was planned. Both options suck. Two dour choices, tragedy and tragedy. What's bad one way and worse another versus what works sometimes and breaks most times? Apples to oranges, but both are wrong. One rotten to the core, one still on the vine. Stuck between two lines. The one above and the one below, the sky. The empty sky or the endless sea. A rock and another rock. Hard places all. I want to take a moment here. Do you guys know about like Scylla and Charybdis? Am I pronouncing that right? Well, none of you know, so screw it. They were like these weird Greek, they were these Greek monsters, because of course they were, Scylla and Charybdis. I know a lot of like Greek trivia, and that's like what I have in place of a personality. So I was big into Greek mythology, and Scylla and Charybdis, just for some context, was Scylla was this one monster, and Charybdis was this other monster, and it was where we get like that sort of rock in a hard place kind of proverb. Not that one in particular, but that was just something that the Greeks had because they had something for everything. Heyo. So Scylla was from the top half a woman, and from the from top half up was a woman, and the bottom half was just a nest of dogs. But the dogs were on like snake heads, so it was like you had tentacles, and it was a whole mess. And then there was Charybdis, who was like her sister, and was basically just like a big mouth at the bottom of a whirlpool. So equally weird, equally shitty, just in a different way. Maybe you didn't need that context. But Scylla, hey, anytime. Hit me up for all the Greek trivia. But Scylla and Charybdis were different. A tangled nest of dogs and snakes. Thank you. A gaping maw at the eye of a storm. They are unique. If they're unique, they're not impossible. Prepare for one, choose another. Yes, both lines suck, but you need both. You choose life when it sucks, and then death when it doesn't. Or is it the other way around? Two strings, two lines, two paws of a savage cat, a mouse running home, darting between rocks and grass and slats of fence. Prepare for one, choose, prepare again, choose again. Over and over again. And that's okay. Both hurt, but they don't hurt in the same way. And isn't it enough that there's some variety? You just have to choose to see it. That's probably the hardest choice. Choosing to see that there are choices. And that is enough. Good, even. Okay, that's enough. That was Two Hard Places. Thanks.
Matthew Schwartzman, everybody. Yeah. Alrighty. We are nearing the end of our lovely time here, folks. Unless anybody else would like to get onto the list, please, let me know, and I will take you. I'll be right in the corner there after this brief little introduction. But we're going to have our good friend Zwambi come up here once more and give us another monologue. Zwambi!
Okay, so I want to do the monologue I said I wouldn't do. Losing one's mind is freeing. In the sense that you have nothing tying you back, no longer bound by brutalist reality. You soar, or you think you can. I've never tried, but rest assured, mania-powered flight is attainable for me. Magic is real for 3 discrete reasons. First of all, the placebo effect. With the placebo effect, we can think ourselves better, or at least change, and our very perception alters reality. Our own reality, but reality nonetheless. Second of all, the observer effect. Photons, or light particles, while not being observed, form a scatter plot when shown through two slits. Light particles, while being observed, form a wave pattern. What we used to see acts differently when we see it. Just gonna let you guys ponder those implications. And lastly, the ever-present fifth dimension overlaps on reality sometimes. You ever think strange thoughts while high? You ever have weird dreams? You're accessing the fifth dimension. We access the fifth dimension with the 5 Ds of 5D. Dreaming, daydreaming, delusional, drugged, or dead. What is the fifth dimension, you might ask? Well, the first dimension is a line made of points. The second is a plane made of lines. The third is depth made of planes. And the fourth is the scalar of motion through 3-dimensional space, the unit for moving. We can't have motion without time, miles per hour, meters per second. So it must be time. You humans, experience time as linear. So time could be simplified to a line for conceptual purposes. If the pattern repeats, which it did with the first and fourth, if it repeats with the second and fifth, we get a plane made of timelines, or the astral plane and the infinite multiverse. And what does that mean for me, you might ask? Well, if you're manic enough and you smoke enough weed, you can do fire magic. Because photons behave differently when observed. Who here has done acid and it's irreparably changed their life? Yeah. I did acid once in 2015 and got abducted by little gray aliens. That's why it's called Spurge. The Greys told me I'd get pregnant with Martian Jesus, and then it happened. On the winter solstice, December 21st, 2017, I lit a pentagram and had sex with ghosts and conceived something. I took 3 pregnancy tests. There's the pictures on the internet. Read and Weep, Imgers, Wamby. I took 3 pregnancy tests. 1 a week after, negative. 1 sooner, faint negative. And 1 within the window, and that one was a dud. We're talking no lines. No, not pregnant line, nothing. It was just a wash of dye. That later turned positive. So I got pregnant with Martian Jesus. But not for long. On January 16th, 2018, I lost my alien fetus. Where'd it go? Down the toilet. So what the fuck do I do with that? Right? Like, what the fuck do I do with that? The acid Martian prophecy came true. How can I ever go back to who I was before then? I'm Zwamby now. I invented a religion, space church, or Spurge will never be the same. Since shedding my chains in the cave and leaving, I'm free to soar. I just pray I won't be killed or made to drink hemlock. Call 419-7 Spurge with questions, comments, and concerns.
Zwamby, everybody. Let's hear it one more time. I love aliens, man. I do. I think they're kind of the most interesting topic to think of, really. You know, right? I mean, here's my thing with aliens, right? Like, if they're real, if they're interested in the Earth, Do you think they would keep us as pets? I think they would keep us as pets. Right? I don't know. I think that would be a nice life. You know, because like elephants think we're cute, right? Like I'm pretty sure scientists have figured that out, right? I don't know. I'd like to be an alien pet, but my one like hang up on that would be like, what if aliens like interbred humans like we do dogs? You know, right? So like you'd have like human equivalent of pugs, you know, just going around like a bunch of Habsburgs, like it's like, oh, he's so cute. Look at him. The alien that like you're the pet of is just looking at you like fucking regular boring ass human. Gee, be interesting, won't ya? I don't know. I think about alien abduction too sometimes. Like I feel like I have a theory about alien abduction. Like because it's like I think you could chalk up most alien abduction stories to rednecks having like latent queer experiences and not knowing how to like process it afterwards. You know, it's like, yeah, man, I met this fucking alien one time at the bar. He took me in his spaceship. It was crazy, man. You know what? Turns out a alien mothership looks exactly like a luxury one-bedroom apartment. Everything smells super nice in there, too. Aliens completely shaved. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, let's see who's next on the list, shall we? Alrighty. It is none other than Sebastian. Once more, everybody. Let's hear it, Sebastian. Yeah.
Episode of Sebastian saying stuff, I did a funny monologue. It was funny, and since there's a lot of extra time and people could do whatever, I decided I'm gonna read you guys some song lyrics that I wrote a lot of song lyrics. I'm supposed to turn it into a solo album. I haven't done that yet because everything I do sucks. These song lyrics also suck. I shouldn't be reading them to you, but I'm gonna do it anyway because that's the nature of things. I'm gonna read some of them, and some other ones I'm gonna look at and go, "Fuck you," and then I'm not going to read them to you. But I will read some of them, so we're gonna get there. Okay, this first one, if I can find the fucking page, there's a lot going on here. This one is called Wizard. A lot of these were written when I was going through some mental shit, because that's when I write most of my lyrics. So I'm going through some mental shit. So this one's called Wizard. Okay, here we go. I could take steps to facilitate healing, but I think I'd rather get worse. I'm not really above killing and stealing. Should I weigh my options first? Every time I think that I can do better, I go and I shut myself down. Maybe one day I will write my last letter, and you'll all write me off as another clown. And it goes, and it goes, and it goes around in a carousel that never stops. And I'm losing my mind to the shadows at night that I sometimes see walk the street. And I don't want to silence the voice in my head. I want to let it all go. And spend a night climbing a building with me. Well, then you'll be in the know. Got lost in an abyss of my own making, and I could wander for years. Rather not be in the world of the waking, so I'll swallow all my tears. I will let trash pile up in my room, turn my space into a cave. Maybe from that, I can make something bloom and get everything that I crave. So that's Wizard. Yeah, it's called Wizard. It's the only one I wrote in that. The rest are all on my phone. Okay, I'm trying to think which one I should read. Let's see. Oh, okay, this one's called Mania. It's great. And so I wait for it to come, despite the fact that I was first. And now the days crawl on my skin as life changes for the worse. Every time I try to heal, you make it harder just to breathe. It's like my heart is twisting in. Don't ever wear it on your sleeve. Never lose control again, and you can still keep everything. I can't bury this down at all, so I've got no choice but to sing. I'm not singing. That was. No, there's nothing there. Okay. All right. That one was Mania. This one's called The Cosmos. Every time I go to sleep, a million years pass by, and every thought I'll ever have dissipates into the sky. I've got too many masks on, don't remember my real face. I've got to reconnect myself to life from empty space. Never quit moving, and I'm always occupied. Slip up and the floaty feeling falls to the wayside. Your thoughts are an infinity that I will never know. Done with me inside your life or just taking it slow. All right. All right, let's see. Oh, can't read that one. Not yet. Let's see. This one I wrote a long time ago, actually, so just from a different perspective. It's called Jigsaw Heart. All right. Tell me why we glorify insanity. Is intelligence measured by that vanity? What sets some of us apart from humanity? Must our minds be full to the point of volcanity? I want someone to tell me I'm different. I need a label making me unique. I get that maybe I've been too vociferant, but I gotta know what I'm worth at my peak. Solve the riddles in my head and morph them into one. Stop crying myself to sleep and have a little fun. Could live, laugh, love all I want and never ever stop. Put my mind straight on the page exactly like a raindrop. Plan out every letter, understand myself better. The world would be a little clear. I'd stop living in all this fear. It's kind of funny not being you. My lies have a purpose. Maybe I don't have a truth. I have parts of me lost and some sealed away. Pieces have their own locks and keys haven't been made. Got a new drive, so I'll never break the stride. Somehow unravel the enigmatic mystery called life. Never managed to become immortal, but I think I'm gonna try. I want some time to waste until the day we never die. All right, that's Jigsaw Heart. And I'm not reading anymore.
We are winding down in the last sort of phases of our lovely little open mic here. Our next person up on the docket is none other than Caden. Caden!
Okay, so this is a monologue from the end of the movie Pearl. So, spoilers for the end of Pearl if you haven't seen it. It's from the very end. Howard, I hate you so much for leaving me here. Sometimes I hope you die. I'm sorry, I feel awful admitting that, but it's the truth. I was curious about other men. I'm sure you don't want to hear about a stranger satisfying your wife, and I swear it was only once. It was a mistake. It wasn't him that I wanted. I know that now. And I wish we could just go back to the way things were before. But I don't see how they could. Not after the things I've done. Oh, Howard, I realize how this all must sound. Honestly, there was a time I was flattered to have someone as handsome as you pine over me. You're such a good person, I know that. I've made sure to always be mindful with your heart. I never wanted you to feel jealous. It's an awful thing, like a rot, the way it just twists and turns at your insides. I know that aching so well. I feel it. Whenever I see others whose lives come easy, because the truth is, I'm not really a good person. The reason I kept my eyes to the ground around other men was to never avoid hurting you. It's because I understood how lucky I was to have your attention. Maybe a poor farm girl, Howard, but I'm not stupid. I spotted you the moment you came to live with us. You worked hard like the other farm hands, but you were different. You're from somewhere. A nice, comfortable place that you could return to whenever you wanted. I'm so desperate to have that. All my life I wanted to get off this farm, and you were my ticket out. So I made sure to never let you see who I really was, and work like a charm, too. And you finally brought me back to your home to meet your family. It was just as I hoped. A life straight out of the pictures. At least that's what it felt like to me. You didn't want it. You wanted to stay here on our farm, and that made me so angry. How could you? I'm certain you knew I hated it. You must have. How could you be so selfish and cruel after all I've done to make you happy? I was even pregnant with your baby. I never wanted to be a mother. I loathed the feeling of it growing inside me. It felt like sickness, pulling and sucking on me like some needy animal in a barn. How could I be responsible for another life? Life terrifies me. It's harsh and bleak and draining. I was so relieved when it died. It was one less weight keeping me trapped here. But then the war came and you left me too. How could you leave me, Howard? I hate feeling like this. So pathetic. Do people like you ever feel this way? I figure you don't. You must seem so perfect all the time. Lord must have been generous to you. He never answers any of my prayers. I don't know why. What did I do? What is wrong with me? Please just tell me so maybe I can get better. I don't want to end up like Mama. I want to be dancing on the screen like the pretty gals in the pictures. I want what they have so badly, to be perfect, to be loved from so many people as possible, to make up for all the time I spent suffering. Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and the fear washes over me. Because what if this is it? What if this is right where I belong? I'm a failure. I'm not pretty or naturally pleasant or friendly. I'm not smart or funny or confident. I'm exactly what Mama says I was. Weak. I don't know why. What did I do? Why wasn't my family like yours? I hate what it feels like to be me and not you. I'm so scared that when you finally come home, you'll see me and be frightened like everyone else is. I know what I've done, the bad things, terrible, awful, murderous things. I regret them now, but I liked how they felt. I wish I didn't, but I did. At first, it was only small animals, smaller than myself. Nothing with feelings, nothing that could hurt me back. It felt good. Killing's easier than you think, till recently with Mama and the boy from the picture house. They were different. They were more meaningful. I hurt them, so they too might know what it feels like to suffer. But poor Daddy didn't deserve that. I wish I hadn't done what I did. Mama went well. She had a hard life. She only wanted a home to feel safe in. I can see that. I thought I hated her, but I just want to feel safe too. Lord, I made a mess of things. I don't know how much more I can take. I need to clean this up, all of it. I need to make things right before you see me again. Maybe if I can turn this farm into a home for us like you wanted, this will finally be different. I can forgive. I can be who you want me to be if you'll just stay with me. Would you do that, please? I can't be all by myself anymore. It's too hard. We can love each other. I'll do that for you. If you really meant all that till death do us part, it'd be enough. Just you and me here on this farm. All I really want is to be loved. I'm having such a hard time without it lately.
Alrighty, I think we're gonna finish the night off with a little bit. I'm gonna make it a little bit more McDonough-y. This is a monologue from a little play that was the first play that I had ever done with Wednesday here. It was a long time ago, and I have very fond memories of it. So as I pull it out of my phone, because that's where I have it from, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of context for this scene. This is in Northern Ireland during the early 90s, and my character is torturing somebody, and he receives a phone call. So here we go. Will you hang on there a minute, James? Hello? Dad, you bastard, how are you? It's me, Dad. Oh, I'm grand indeed, Dad, grand. How is all on Inishmore? Oh, good. I'm at work at the moment, Dad. Was it important now? Yeah, I'm torturing one of them fellas pushes drugs on wee kids, but I can't say too much over the phone, like. They are terrible men, and it's like they don't even know they are when they know well. They think they're doing the world a favour now. Haven't been up to much else, really. I put bombs in a couple of chip shops, but they didn't go off. Because chip shops aren't as well guarded as army barracks. But do I need your advice on planting bombs? I was pissed off anyways. The fellow who makes our bombs, he's fucking useless. Yeah, I think he does drink. Either they go off before you're ready or they don't go off at all. And one thing about the IRA anyways, as much as I hate the bastards, you gotta hand it to them. They know how to make a decent bomb. Sure, why would the IRA be selling us any of their bombs? They need them themselves, sure. Them bastards had charged the earth anyways. I'm telling you, getting pissed off with the whole thing. I've been thinking about forming a splinter group. Well, I know we're already a splinter group, but there's no law says you can't splinter from a splinter group. A splinter group is the best kind of group to splinter from anyways. It shows you know your own mind. Yeah, but there's someone in the room, Dad. I can't be talking about splinter groups. I'll be with you in a moment now, James. What was it you were ringing about anyways, Dad? Hey? What about wee Thomas? What about me little darling baby boy, wee Thomas, me little cat? Poorly? How poorly have you brought him to the doctor? What? How long has he been off his food, and why didn't you tell me when it first started? He's not too bad. Either he's poorly or he's not too bad now, Dad. He's either one or the feckin' other. There's a major feckin' difference now between not too bad and feckin' poorly. He cannot be feckin' two at feckin' once now. And you wouldn't be calling me at all if he's not too bad now. What have you done to wee Thomas now, you feckin' bastard? Put wee Thomas on the phone. He's sleeping. Well, put a blanket on him and be stroking him and get a second opinion from the doctor, and don't be talking loud near him, and I'll be home the first feckin' boat in the feckin' morning. Ah, you fecker, yeah. That's that. All right, thanks, guys. Thank you all so much for coming to this wonderful night and experimenting with us and having fun. We hope to do some more of these, so please come on down to the next one. We will keep you posted. Thank you all.